Hello and welcome to our brand new show, Firstpost Spotlight, where we bring you the stories that matter to you from all across the world. From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, we shed light on the issues that shape our world. I'm Alison LaGrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin with the top headlines. Russia says its forces shot down 55 Ukrainian drones, adding that the falling debris sparked a new fire at an oil depot and hit an aviation plant in a border region. Hamas says that 4 Israeli women hostages will be freed in return for Palestinian prisoners on Saturday, in the second such release under a ceasefire deal. The Taliban government in Afghanistan releases 2 American citizens from prison in return for an Afghan fighter held in the US in a deal brokered by Qatar. Dozens of Indonesian school children suffer food poisoning after consuming free meals offered through President Prabowo Subianto's flagship program. And at least 10 people were killed and 32 injured after a fire engulfed a hotel at the Kartalkaya ski resort in northwestern Turkey. Hello and welcome. We begin with the latest from the United States, where within hours of his inauguration as president, Donald Trump wasted no time in implementing several of his campaign pledges. On the first day of his new term, President Trump signed a slew of executive orders ranging from immigration to climate change. There were roughly 200 of them, including 78 revoking Joe Biden's orders. Let's take a look at the top 5 executive orders signed by Donald Trump on day 1 in office. The first executive order was on a pardon on the January 6 Capitol Hill rioters. Through this order, Trump has issued a complete and unconditional pardon to around 1,500 individuals convicted or charged in connection with the 2021 Capitol Hill riots. These 1,500 individuals will now be released from federal custody. Through his second order, Donald Trump declared a national emergency on the U.S.-Mexico border. This comes as a part of Trump's wider and strict crackdown on illegal immigration. The U.S. troops will now take full operational control of southern border with Mexico. The order also paves the way for Trump administration to resume the construction of the border wall with Mexico. The third was an order that ends birthright citizenship in the U.S. Under this order, signed by Trump, children of undocumented immigrants born in the U.S. will no longer be eligible for U.S. citizenship. At the same time, children born to temporary U.S. residents on a student, work, or tourist visa won't be eligible for the U.S. citizenship either. Experts say that the executive order is unconstitutional and could be challenged in the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, the fourth is related to tariffs and the America First trade policy. This policy targets 2 of America's neighbors and among the top trade partners, Canada and Mexico. During the signing ceremony in the Oval Office, Trump said that his administration will impose 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada on the 1st of February. Experts say that this extraordinary change could shoot up prices for American consumers and inflict a wound on the economy.
We're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
Last year, the U.S. imported $475 billion worth of goods from Mexico and $418 billion worth of goods from Canada. This collectively accounted for 30% of the value of all of the goods the U.S. exported last year. The fifth order saw America's exit from the World Health Organization and the crucial Paris Climate Agreement. Trump had signed similar executive orders during his first term, but his successor, Joe Biden, had reversed these exits. Trump's signing of the order begins the process of the U.S. withdrawal from the global health body. The order stated the withdrawal was due to unfair payments the U.S. was making to the WHO. In 2023, the U.S. was the largest funder of the WHO and contributed nearly 1/5 of the agency's budget. Trump also ordered America's exit from the Paris Climate Agreement, stating that it does not reflect American economic and environmental values. The Paris Agreement is seen as the world's most important effort to tackle the rising global temperatures. Trump's first day in the White House has set the stage for what looks like an unpredictable presidential tenure. Experts say that his presidential actions, for better or worse, may transform America's place in the global order. After the presidential campaign filled with America First promises, on his day one, Trump refused to stay on course with global norms on immigration, climate change, and healthcare. With tensions in West Asia and the war in Ukraine, global leaders are also awaiting Trump's foreign policy outlook. The question remains, can the world catch up with the volatility of a Trump presidency? And speaking of Donald Trump's key decisions, the H-1B visa program, a long flashpoint in the American immigration debate, is back in the spotlight. Signing a flurry of executive orders, Donald Trump said that he is fine with legal immigration and that America needs people. Listen in.
Legal immigration, I like it. We need people, and I'm absolutely fine with it. We want to have it. We need it because we're going to have a lot of companies coming in to avoid tariffs. You know, if you don't want tariffs, all you have to do is build your plant in the U.S. So we're going to have a lot of workers coming in.
The U.S. President's latest remarks on the H-1B visa program and skilled immigration highlight a clear shift in stance. He calls it a great program and also hails the role of the H-1B visa program in fostering innovation and bolstering American businesses and the tech industry, and said it was bad for American workers. In 2016, his rhetoric against the H-1B visas resonated with working-class Americans worried about job displacement. During his previous term, Trump restricted H-1B visas and banned it during the pandemic to protect domestic jobs. Now, Trump's stark shift in stance has left the MAGA loyalists divided. He has found support among the tech titans. Silicon Valley heavyweights Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, both the vocal advocates for skilled immigration, have backed Trump's H-1B visa pivot. Tesla and ex-CEO Elon Musk, a former H-1B holder turned U.S. citizen, credits the program for fostering innovation that drives American tech. Meanwhile, Ramaswamy has agreed that the program is essential to attract top global talent. Their endorsement and seating of global billionaires in front of the cabinet picks at the inauguration event underscores the growing alliance between Donald Trump and tech titans. But not everyone in Camp Trump has been on board. Republican leader Steve Bannon and other far-right leaders stand against the H-1B visa program. They say it is a corporate scheme to replace American workers with cheaper foreign labor. Some hardliners even view Trump's shifting stance as a betrayal of his 2016 promises. The H-1B non-immigrant visa program allows U.S. employers to hire foreign workers for special occupations which require advanced specialized knowledge. The H-1B visa program has become a cornerstone of American tech and STEM fields, which include science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The U.S. Congress caps the H-1B visa program at 85,000 visas. However, exceptions push the number of approvals far higher. In 2019, there were 585,000 H-1B visa recipients, and this number dipped during the pandemic, but rose again in 2022 to 410,000. In 2023, it stood at over 750,000. Indians, the second largest immigrant group in the U.S. after Mexicans, make up the majority of the H-1B visa holders. They accounted for 72.3% of the 386,000 H-1B visas in 2023. In 2022, Indian nationals secured 77% of the 320,000 approved H-1B visas. Last week, a major revamp of the H-1B visa program came into effect. The new rules are aimed at giving greater flexibility to employers to hire global talent and to boost America's economic competitiveness. Key changes in the program include measures against lottery rules, simplification of transition for the F1 visa holders to H-1B, faster visa processing, flexibility for employers, and stronger safeguards. It also eases the renewal process. Now, the H-1B visa holders will be able to renew their visas without leaving the U.S. All of these measures, and especially the visa renewal process being made easy, are being seen as a positive change for Indian techies. But for Donald Trump, the H-1B visa program could be a high-stakes balancing act, with tech giants urging expansion and MAGA hardliners demanding restriction. Immigration policy could be very well becoming a defining issue in Trump's second term. Whatever decision Trump takes moving forward, they will not just shape America's economic future, but also put his political coalition to the test. U.S. President Donald Trump's inauguration speech has prompted reactions from an unlikely quarter. We are referring to the reaction of leaders and people of New Zealand over President Trump's claim that Americans split the atom. Atom, or the basic building block of every literal thing in our universe, has taken the center stage between the US and New Zealand, both on and off social media. During his inauguration speech, President Trump, while delivering an account of what he referred to as American greatness, declared that Americans split the atom. Now, many in New Zealand saw it as an attack on the country's greatest scientific accomplishment and an assault on the legacy of its pioneering scientist Ernest Rutherford, born in New Zealand's Nelson City in 1871. Now, Rutherford is widely regarded as the father of nuclear physics. His work on radioactivity is seen as the central to the dawn of nuclear age. In 1908, he was honored with the Nobel Prize for his investigation on the disintegration of elements. Contrary to Trump's claim, in 1917, Rutherford became the first person in the world to split the atom. Nick Smith, the mayor of Nelson, where Rutherford was born, said that he was a bit surprised by Trump's claim. The Nelson mayor said that he will invite the next U.S. envoy to New Zealand to visit Rutherford's memorial to ensure the maintenance of correct historic record on who split the atom first. President Trump's remarks also provoked a flurry of online posts by New Zealanders, for whom Rutherford remains their country's most remarkable scientist. New Zealanders strongly defended Rutherford's legacy over first atom splitting and had urged President Trump to take some history lessons. Now, the reaction comes as Rutherford remains a widely eulogized figure in New Zealand. In New Zealand, several scientific institutions, streets and schools are named after Rutherford. The Rutherford Memorial in Brightwater is visited by thousands from New Zealand and beyond. New Zealand's $100 currency note also bears a Rutherford portrait. Clearly, the US president touched a nerve with New Zealanders, who remain fiercely protective of the legacy of their country's most accomplished scientist. It was just the day one of Trump's presidency, and the world was bombarded with a series of misleading claims. But a question mark on who split the atom is an assertion New Zealanders refuse to take. And US President Donald Trump's inauguration day was more than just a political event. It was a high-fashion spectacle, with each attendee making a statement. From Melania Trump's iconic boater hat that nearly blocked a presidential kiss to Ivanka Trump, channeling Dior's new look with a regal flair. Now, the fashion was nothing short of a showstopper. While John Fetterman rocked a hoodie and shorts, defying tradition, Intrigued? Dive into the report for all the details on who wore what and why it mattered.
Honorable Donald John Trump.
Inaugurations aren't merely political milestones, they are the Met Gala of politics, where power dressing takes center stage and every stitch tells a story. Donald Trump's swearing-in ceremony was a runway of symbolism, elegance, and also a few eyebrow-raising choices. Here's the ultimate breakdown of who wore what and how their sartorial choices spoke louder than words. Donald Trump and Joe Biden greeted each other in what could only be described as political sartorial solidarity. Both opted for classic navy blue wool overcoats, crisp white shirts, and silk ties. Biden's democratic blue tie clashed subtly with Trump's patterned red and blue version. Look at it as a visual tug of war between tradition and transition. Melania Trump made a triumphant return to American fashion with a navy double-breasted coat and an avant-garde blue and ivory boater hat. This wasn't just an outfit, it was a manifesto. Ditching her usual European designers for independent US labels, Melania aligned her style with her husband's Buy America mantra. But let's talk about that hat. With a brim so wide, it eclipsed the president during a ceremonial kiss, which then turned into an air kiss. Ivanka Trump channeled Dior's iconic new look. In an emerald green skirt suit, it oozed old-school glamour. The nipped-in waist and flared skirt evoked post-war optimism. While her asymmetrical hemline gave a contemporary edge, paired with a side-tilted beret, the ensemble signals Ivanka's understanding of America's version of a political monarchy. Usha Vance, wife of Vice President J.D. Vance, chose an Oscar de la Renta peony cashmere coat with a tucked-in scarf detail. A coordinating pink belt cinched the coat at the waist, securing the scarf in place. She paired the look with taupe suede knee-high heeled boots and flower-shaped pearl earrings to add a touch of elegance. Fashion-forward, yet understated. For the inaugural ball, she opted for a cobalt blue dress with a statement ring, diamond ear studs, and midnight blue pumps. To honor her Indian roots, Usha Vance wore a strapless dress by Indian designer Gaurav Gupta at the president's candlelight dinner before inauguration. Jill Biden stayed true to her sartorial roots with a violet ensemble by Ralph Lauren. Purple, a blend of Republican red and Democratic blue, has long been the color of political unity, and Jill Biden wore it with understated grace. Lauren Sanchez, fiancée to Jeff Bezos, turned heads and raised a few eyebrows. She came to the ceremony in a white Alexander McQueen suit with power shoulders and a barely there lace top. A bold departure from Capitol Hill's usually stated dress codes. Her look blended boardroom boss with bedroom chic. Critics called it inappropriate, but Sanchez remained unbothered, bringing Hollywood flair to DC's political theatre. Not everyone adhered to tradition. Senator John Fetterman attended the event in his signature hoodie and shorts, a sartorial mic drop in a sea of formal wear. Meanwhile, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries added a touch of rebellion by pairing his suit with sneakers, proving that the most serious of days can benefit from a dash of cool. In an unexpected twist, tech's biggest players, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Sundar Pichai, traded their casual hoodies for tailored suits. Zuckerberg, fresh from his normcore phase, flaunted a luxury makeover complete with designer slogans and subtle watches, while Musk exuded biker chic vibes in a bell-stuff jacket. The fashion at Trump's second inauguration was a masterclass in messaging. From Melania's patriotic pivot to Ivanka's regal elegance and Jill Biden's purple diplomacy, each outfit served as a visual manifesto. Whether rebelling against tradition or leaning into it, the attendees used their style to make statements as bold as their political stances.
And that's all we have on the show for today. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT.